Thanks so much for coming to the last talk. This conference has been great. We've connected with so many teams building L2s, and I had an amazing opportunity to talk to them about the challenges they've been facing. While the vision of Infinite Garden that we heard from Ethereum Foundation yesterday in DEF CON sounds interesting and very luring, like playing the infinite game for the purpose of continuing the play. The reality of building L2s is facing those issues that the Ethereum Foundation mentioned, right? So I spoke to teams trying to build L2s, and everyone's going through the same set of quests on their way to production. First of all, is maturity, being good enough to withstand all the challenges with respect to deployment, making sure that infrastructure runs as expected. The other thing is making sure that user experience is just as good as the L1s, and the third one is building community that is fostering value within the ecosystem of L2s. QuickNode, as a trusted and proven infinite gardener, can help you fix all these quests and fight the issues of maturity, interoperability, UX, and community with a set of products I'm going to shortly demo to you. And we have some impressive numbers to back up those statements. Our track record has been impeccable. We're serving more than 12 billion requests on daily basis. This is more than the number of Google searches. We have an impeccable track record of network availability. We've supported 61 chains and counting, more chains to come soon. And this brings me to this overview of complete L2 stack in the views of QuickNode. What are the components that you as an L2 deployer have to consider to make sure that you would be successful in your pathway to Infinite Garden? So those are deployment, data pipelines, automation, monitoring, and developer tools. And the first thing I'm going to start with is the tool we've built for automating and orchestrating deployments for rollups. This is a very simple tool that takes you through all the essential stages for rollup creation, where you would submit the admin account, you would specify the framework, settlement layers, data availability, and then once confirmed, we're gonna take all the hassle of deploying the rollup and making sure it runs smoothly for you. And to give you some details on what we support behind the hood is we support OP stack, the Optimism stack, ZK Sync, and Arbitrum Orbit for frameworks. For the settlement layers, we provide you with an option of Ethereum as well L1 and Base as L2. So we actually provide you with L3 building capabilities. And for data availability, we're partnering with Celestia, but you could also pick cold data and blobs as a way to keep the data going for your rollup. So that gives you a way to not only deploy, but also manage those rollups once you deploy them. Because within QuickNode, you have all the tools for instant RPC manipulation. You have ways to interact with these contracts and make sure that everything runs as expected. And this is an overview of what we offer. We also offer bridges that are deployed with the rollups as part of the wizard. There are network analytics and block explorers and smart contract management within. This is not the only thing that you could use for rollups. We have other products in the fleet, one of which is QuickNode Streams. There are so many scenarios where streams would be used for automating and improving your L1, L2 sort of operations. To illustrate what streams are capable of, it's very simple. There are only 3 steps. Whenever you create a stream, you choose a network, which could be an L1, L2, or L3. You configure filters for your scenarios that are capable of tuning down your stream to a specific address. This could be your bridge, or those could be some sequencer operations, ERC transfers, you name it. And then the next step is just connecting your stream to one of the supported destinations. Here I'm illustrating what raw data payload is like, and I'm also showing what filters are capable of. It's a very simple example of me just getting a hash of a block. But in reality, our customers are using more sophisticated scenarios than that. You can also handle reworks for L1 chains, and here I'm picking one of the supported options for the destinations, and I'm illustrating the ease of use for webhooks. But in reality, your scenarios most likely will be relying on functions, which is another product I'm going to talk about in a second. So to recap, Streams is a all-encompassing solution for tuning to events on L1, L2, where you could also decode and transform those events. And those could range from monitoring bridges, liquidity transfers, analytics on your protocol, and pretty much anything. And this may include some community tracking for your metrics. And one of the destinations that I've highlighted here is functions. This is another product that QuickNode offers to you as part of the automation pipeline. And the reason I've highlighted it is that functions can provide you with a way to encapsulate all the logic behind dealing with the issues that could go wrong whenever you deploy your L2. And there are so many. Here are a few I've heard from customers we spoke about while deploying L2s, and also to some of you here. There might be issues with your bridges. There might be issues around smart contracts, sequencer, you name it. And to track all of that and to make sure that nothing runs out of funds or nothing unexpected happens, we would provide you with a layer where you could code this logic within the Node.js environment. So this is QuickNode Functions. This is serverless compute product, which could help you automate operations as part of the Streams pipeline or on its own. It's also very simple, just like other products that we build. It has only 3 steps. So you would configure your environment and pass over the code that you build yourself. And then within the environment, you can do whatever you want. You could call RPCs on L2 and L1. You could call NPM dependencies and build this logic that would solve those issues that I've previously mentioned preemptively. So for example, if your bridge contract or other kind of addresses on L2s run out of funds, you could interact with custodial APIs and top up those accounts preemptively so that your operations are going to continue as expected. You could also connect streams to any other destinations with functions, so that could be an adapter for you, like a Telegram bot. We see that usually happening, but also Kafka and whatever else. And once you deploy this function, you could trigger this, as I said, part of your pipeline, or just call it through REST API, and you could even embed it within your rollup infrastructure eventually. So QuickNode is your partner in the Infinite Garden, and with all these parts of the L2 complete stack, we cover all your bases on deployment, automation, data and analytics, and infrastructure. And with these 3 products that we've released earlier this year, we're going to cover you on all the bases for a complete L2 stack. So thank you.